I look back and go, what an opportunity lost. And I was one of the voices, along with another voice and voices of community groups that said, no, now is not the time. But it was. It was it was the right time, because we're now seeing with the longevity experts, and chiropractic has always been a longevity fucking profession. It's been a longevity product and service. And now we're seeing the longevity game blow up and functional health blow up, which is chiropractic. Longevity and functional health is chiropractic. That's what, it's not something, we need to own what we've always done. It was, EMTT, PMF technologies, electromagnetic technology. That was D.D. Palmer. That was how chiropractic was created. It wasn't adjusting at the time. It was never about the adjustment. That we mix up chiropractic with the adjustment. It's everything. It's the check. It's the analysis. It's it's lifestyle. It's everything. And we're at the risk, just like we lost back pain to PTs, which was it's fine. And there can be conversations about that back in the 80s and 90s. There's reasons for everything, and what people were trying to do was right. But we now have people that are going, this is the first year in the history of healthcare where patients are coming in going, I want to live longer. I want to live better. And by the way, whatever you tell me, I want to know the root cause. I want to know the holistic and give me the other alternatives. And it's been us for everything. But we're going to fuck it up maybe. So, hopefully not. But I'm trying my best. And I think others are. But it's a really interesting time, dude.
Welcome to the Chiropractic Authority Podcast. Now, if you've been here for a while, you might be thinking, wait, wasn't this called None of Your Business with Robert DeLude, the podcast dude? Yes. Yep. Same feed, same voice, same mission at the core. Just a clear focus. We didn't start a brand new show on purpose. Over the years, None of Your Business reached a lot of people. Entrepreneurs, creators, operators, people overcoming challenges in their life, looking to build something real. And along the way, chiropractic kept showing up again and again and again. Not as a trend, but it literally changed my life. Chiropractic is one of the most understood, undercommunicated, life-changing professions out there. So instead of walking away from the audience that already trusted the show, we decided to evolve it. This podcast is now primarily for chiropractors, especially those who believe chiropractic is bigger than pain relief, bigger than crack videos, bigger than $29 specials. Chiropractors who see this work as a calling, a philosophy, and a responsibility. But here's the bigger play. A good portion of you listening right now aren't chiropractors. And that's intentional, because the more people actually understand what chiropractic is, what it stands for, and what it can do, the bigger impact it becomes. So whether you're a chiropractor looking to lead, communicate, and build real authority, or someone who's followed this podcast from the very beginning and is curious to finally understand chiropractic beyond the surface, you're in the right place. This is the Chiropractic Authority Podcast. Let's get into it. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Chiropractic Authority Podcast. Today, I got Twisty with me. Twisty, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here, man. I'm excited. When did you launch this out? Was it the last couple of months or a year ago?
So this podcast,
yeah, this one.
Right after Mile High, I was like, fuck, this is what I need to do. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. So I'm recording episodes before I launch the first one, technically.
Yeah.
So this will be out shortly. So you are one of the first.
Oh, whoa, dude, fucking honored. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Let's rock.
So Twisty, you are the growth coach expert. What does that mean?
I am a growth coordinator, and that means I'm not a coach. I actually don't think I fit in the coach paradigm. Because the problem is coaching, and there needs to be coaching. I do some coaching with some people on performance-based coaching, but I'm going to tell you a deep, dirty little secret of coaching. It's therapy, and it's asking questions and getting someone to own it in our space, in the business space, in the chiropractic space. That's what true coaching should be. versus like, an NFL coach and basketball coach, which is going to yell at you and try to motivate you or use different things. Now there's elements of that. I only have a handful of coaching people. Growth coordination is what I chose to call it because I'm more like the offensive or defensive coordinator where I'm coming up with plays and I am telling you what to do. So people work with me either in three ways. They pay me to tell them what to do and give them the plays. They pay me to teach them what to do, or their team, and turn them into growth coordinators, or they give me the keys to the castle and I try not to fucking blow it up and I run their shit. But yeah, I mean, coaching is there's some really great coaches out there. I have two of them. I think I'm biased. One is Phil Tao, who I recommend for performance coaching all day. He's on the documentary for Metallica and saved Metallica, and that's how I found him. And then Stuart Burnson, who's the founder of Tyro One, who is my scalability coach. But yeah, I mean, I love growth coordinating. I have a kind of a PTSD with coaching, so I tried to stay away from it. And then my marketing and branding brain is like, what are chiropractors going to see when they see growth coordinator? They don't know what it is. They might have questions. We ran a campaign in the summer that your chiropractic coaching sucks. You need a growth coordinator. So, like, because coaching does, I mean, for the most part, I don't think chiropractic coaches realize this. They're not coaches. They're consultants at the best. They're advisors. But I mean, I hate to get so in the depths of the weeds of language and words, but they're not coaches for the most part. Because if they were, they would be allowing that person to recover and answer their own purpose and meaning and figure out what they do. They wouldn't be giving them their system. So it's a long story, but stupid story. But growth coordinator. There you go. Thank you for that question.
I love it. I guess I missed the coordinator part my bad.
No. It's not that branded well. I mean, we're, and here's the full thing, man. Like, the shift for me is happening like literally right now as we speak of my purpose and mission. I'm not leaving growth coordination. I'm not leaving Twisty CA, which is one of my programs for training growth coordinators. I am redistributing my bandwidth and focus because I'm all in on chiropracticresults.com, which is my new platform and what I believe is going to be one of my legacy things. No one's going to remember growth coordinator, growth coach, or coach, but hopefully I can build something that changes the game really completely as a chiropractic advocate,
Yeah. So Chiropractic Results, pretty much the name speaks for itself, but what is it?
Yeah.
And where do you see it going?
Oh man. So where it going is really, really scary to me in some ways. But what it is it's a database and outcome reporter for chiropractic offices to leverage and use their reporting of their chiropractic results and outcomes. It is not research. It is not clinically backed. This is the answer for chiropractors to start leveraging and narrating their results for old school SEO, aiming AI recommendations, and increasing conversions on word of mouth due diligence. What I recently found this last year in doing a lot of my on-sites with my practices is that 30% of patients are coming from doing their research. Well, them not doing the research, their loved one, spouse, or partner doing the research because partner, spouse, or loved one said, fuck that. I don't agree with what your medical doctor said. I'm going to keep looking and trying to find some hope and some, potential. And so it was born out of those things that are happening in our world, the changing way of how consumers are finding the word of mouth changing. 2005 to 2015, I was ahead of the time with a company called Dr. Base. We were one of three companies. We started doing online patient reviews for healthcare providers and automating the collection of it. And we also did blogs for doctors, and we did a directory for doctors. And for 10, 12 years, Google star reviews were so important that Asian dentists were jumping off the bridge in San Francisco because they got a 1-star review. Now that doesn't
really?
Yeah, dude. There was back in the day, our company was kind of the middle ground because it was really the start of Yelp. And Yelp had such a dominating factor on Google because they did such great URL slugging and indexing and rollout of They were the first to roll out national public data and say, we can put a directory up and you can't do anything about it. You can either claim your profile, but you can't take it down. And Yelp became the start of, where we are today, which is good and bad. Everyone has an opinion and a platform to put their opinion on, which is kind of what we fought for as a country to create. But we're also seeing the downside of it with a lot of shit too, because of stupidity.
Facts.
Yeah, but Yelp fucked up a lot of people because we felt they didn't give fairness to especially healthcare providers. It's one thing to go and give a shitty review for a Chinese restaurant. And, it's another thing to be like, hey, this person extracted my tooth, gave me new tits, or, gives a chiropractic adjustment. So we created a platform that was kind of in between. We verified patient reviews, and we gave the doctors a platform to automate and collect those and facilitate out negative reviews and try to fix bad outcomes and or bad reviews. And then there's another company called Medical Justice, which was really fucking weird. They were like the forend. Doctors hired them to basically go clean up your word of mouth reputation, which is why Chiropractic Results. At the end of the day, nothing has really changed. It's just evolved. AI recommendations are just the new enhancement of due diligence searches, meaning people are going to search a doctor's name 48 not one person, but the average doctor's name is searched 40 to 80 times a month before their practice name is ever even considered, because most people get their recommendations from word of mouth still. It's not changed. The platform of how we got word of mouth has changed, but now AI is kind of the water cooler. It's the ChatGPT is your friend. It's becoming the recommender. The water cooler evolved 2017 to 2025. This era that we're ending out in was the Reddit, Facebook mom groups, collective, the social. As I said, it was interesting where we come from, and I know we'll probably get into this, but when I was selling for one of our partnership groups for years, I was like, there's no such thing as one closer anymore. It's like multiple people that are the recommender, advisor, and social proof. So because there's so many options and because trust is at an all-time low, my theory was the only last thing is results and outcomes. And chiropractors have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of outcomes daily, weekly, monthly, and let's leverage and use them. So here we are, and within 3 weeks of launching, we're already crushing old school SEO and ranking and basic bitch stuff that's helpful to create new patients and conversions. But more importantly, we're showing up and getting pulled into AI recommendations, and something I was not ready for. We're already averaging almost 200 unique visitors a day using the directory to find. I wasn't planning on even broaching that till 6 to 12 months. Anyways, that's the speed.
Okay. So that's fucking badass. All of that. Say I had my own practice, would I upload my results to that, or does AI pull it off? Okay, so the doctor or clinic has to upload it to chiropracticresults.com.
Doctor or patient.
Okay.
And we have third-party verification through their EHR or other platforms that they use, CRMs. So we've pulled in APIs for that to do verifications, and then they can upload as much as they want on different platforms. We have different tiers, but it's outcomes over opinions. It's peer-to-peer validation. We also have peer recommendations on there. So you're not just getting the outcomes, you're getting what other doctors say about other doctors. It's structurable, it's searchable, it's AI readable, and we've layered it with credibility. We're just building out one other new feature, which I'm really excited about, which is going to go into essentially patient reported outcome sentiment. So I didn't want to make another review platform because I said, been there, done that, did that already. Reviews still have weight, but we're using AI to scan real patient language across platforms, Google Reviews, Yelp, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, the comments. And we're basically aggregating all that into the profiles to give patient reported sentiments. So an emotional layer for the consumer. So that's what I'm stoked about that. There's so much more coming, but that's right now. It's a platform that is going to help get new patients for doctors, going to help prove what I just posted about 10 minutes ago, because I'm so sick of these motherfuckers, these dumb MDs that are on TikTok and Instagram, this radiologist dude I can't stand, where they're, constantly attacking chiropractic still, which has been done since before I was born, done since 1895. It's the same fucking media market, just different approach. We're going to prove, not only because we've had the proof for years with online reviews, but now we're going to show the clinical outcomes of what's happening, measured metrics of reduction of pain, of improvement of range of motion, of improvement of life benefits. And the big picture, like what you asked me, many of the people behind the scenes and the people who've invested in this, we've now just raised almost $1 million in funding, are saying that this could change the insurance game and payouts. Anything is possible. At the very least, I'm doing what I love to do best, is just help chiropractic grow and help chiropractors grow.
That's awesome.
Thanks, dude.
So that's like super, that is way more badass than what I thought it was. So like, like the chiropractic results, I just thought it was like the results of somebody's like office or something. And
yeah, well, it is.
Well, yes, but like it is, but like, and that alone is huge, but hearing more, like fucking even like badass.
Thanks, dude.
So you're taking user generated content, but fucking with facts and evidence.
Yeah.
Which is fucking badass. People buy from they know, I can trust. And like, I was somebody who was skeptical of chiropractic for years.
Mm-hmm.
My family is the family that is chiropractors or quacks. My best friend in middle school, his dad was a chiropractor, and they told me if I ever got their services, I would die. So I was like, and then I would see these adjustment videos and some Asian dude with a mallet doing adjustments. And I'd be terrified. And then one of our friends, Dr. Mel, adjusted me in 30 seconds. The pain in my shoulder that was there for 14 years went away. And I was like, what the fuck is chiropractic?
Yeah.
So I love that you are so passionate about chiropractic care, and like fucking anybody.
Well, dude, I'd be fucking dead if I wasn't born into it and adjusted my whole life. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, the power of what I'm able to do and the adaptability and what I put on my body is a testament. I'm not a chiropractor, and yet all my family members are, and I always like to say this: I'm not a chiropractor, but I'm fucking chiropractic. And if anyone should look at what chiropractic can do and what it's more about, which is the impact, outcome, results, adaptability, just look at me, because I'm the cockroach that won't go down.
Have you ever, like, when you were younger, did you think that you were going to become a chiropractor?
I was programmed to be a chiropractor. I mean, it was literally mind virused into me. I mean, it was from the name. My mom loved opera and Wagner operas. So there's an opera called Tristan and Isolde. My dad wanted me to be, which he knew and was ahead of his time, an animal chiropractor, specifically a horse chiropractor. And there was a book at the time when I was born, a show called All Creatures Great and Small. So my dad had planted the seed, programmed. I remember everywhere we were up till my earliest memories of him, constantly saying, and you're going to be an animal chiropractor, and you're going to be an animal chiropractor. Unfortunately, I wanted to be a rock star, and I ended up in San Francisco, and I'm allergic to meth and GHB because I broke out in a couple felonies, and I decided it wasn't worth going back to school because the risk of not getting my license wasn't there. But I've come to terms and come to find that I think this profession, just like the medical profession and any other profession that is thriving, needs people that are not just the doctors or the you need to have minds from outside of it. You need both. You definitely need both. Can't it be one or the other. So I found my place, and I'm really happy, and I've been doing good things for the last 10 years.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, everyone that I talk to says that you are a fucking genius and care about chiropractic.
No, I don't know about the genius thing, but I know that I hear that, but I think that's also the way of saying an idiot savant sometimes. But yeah, I get it. But I do love fucking chiropractic. I fucking love, dude, I love professional wrestling and I love chiropractic, and I love them both the same because I love I love the matches of wrestling, and I love the adjustment and the check of chiropractic. I love the fandom. I love the people and patients of chiropractic. I love the politics and all the bullshit behind the scenes. I love the branding. I love everything. I love the storytelling. I love staying up until 3 a.m. doing blows of coke with certain people. I can't name names because they're doctors, and reading green books and talking about philosophy, but
Fuck yeah.
yeah, it's the most fucking, to me, chiropractic is everything. And that's what we've done wrong since 1895. Try to define it, pigeonhole it, instead of being the alpha and being like, no, we're everything. Because we are innate intelligence. We are universal. We are life. So guess what, motherfuckers? We get to be everything. And then we can then control everything else instead of having a back seat or a smaller seat at the table. That's my opinion theory. Some people argue with me on it. It's okay. But they'll see. They'll see.
Well, fucking, you don't see MDs, or at least I don't know of MDs getting fucking arrested for, practicing patients back in fucking, 1890 or whatever it was. But chiropractors were getting arrested because it was illegal.
It wasn't like, I mean, my grandparents were in school with, there's famous pictures of in New York City, when it was in New York City, there's famous pictures of professors getting let out in handcuffs. But, and my grandmother turned around to my grandfather and said, "Hey, Bill, this looks interesting. We should stick around." So that tells you like who my people are, my family. And it also tells you like who chiropractic, that's the rebel. And that's, you don't believe the truth, and it's like, finally we're having our, there's a risk that we're losing our edge. And I wrote about this recently, is that we were telling the story, doing the story, and COVID hit. And it was the best gift to chiropractic ever. And I feel bad because, I look back and go, what an opportunity lost. And I was one of the voices, along with another voice and voices of community groups that said, no, now is not the time. But it was. It was more than, it was the right time, because we're now seeing with the longevity experts, and chiropractic has always been a longevity fucking it's been a longevity product and service. And now we're seeing the longevity game blow up and functional health blow up, which is chiropractic. Longevity and functional health is chiropractic. That's what, it's not something we need to own what we've always done. It was, EMTT, PMF technology is electromagnetic technology. That was D.D. Palmer. That was how chiropractic was created. It wasn't adjusting at the time. It was never about the adjustment. That we mix up chiropractic with the adjustment. It's everything. It's the check. It's the analysis. It's it's lifestyle. It's everything. And we're at the risk, just like we lost back pain to PTs, which was it's fine. And there can be conversations about that back in the 80s and 90s. There's reasons for everything, and what people were trying to do is right. But we now have people that are going, this is the first year in the history of healthcare where patients are coming in going, I want to live longer. I want to live better. And by the way, whatever you tell me, I want to know the root. I want to know the holistic and give me the other alternatives. And it's been us for everything. But we're going to fuck it up maybe. So, hopefully not, but I'm trying my best. And I think others are, but it's a really interesting time, dude.
Hey guys, real quick. So if you're a principal chiropractor and you're sick and tired of watching sellout clinics dominate in their market, but you're too afraid, or you don't know exactly where to get started with social media, I created something for you. It's called the Chiro Authority, and it's on the platform School. Link is going to be in the description there. So it's going to have all my templates, all my systems, all my prompts, everything that I use for my clients to make them the go-to chiropractor in their market. I don't work with chiropractors who do $29 specials, who do crack videos, or make themselves look like a 12-year-old girl on TikTok. It's going to be $29 a month to get into the group. That is more just a joke, because I hate $29 specials for chiropractors. The link will be in the description in this video or show. Would love to have you in there. And if not, I hope you are enjoying the show. So let's get back to it. So you've been in the game a lot longer than I have. Where do you see chiropractors and chiropractor partners doing what's right in marketing and creating the awareness and narrative of chiropractic care? And what should more people do of that?
Okay, so I'm just going to echo your question back. What do I see them doing right and what do I see them doing wrong?
Yes.
Okay. In marketing, most are not marketing. Again, I'm going to say like semantics again. Marketing is the scientific approach to, building a brand, identifying avatars, testing out hypothesis, segmenting audiences. And the only ones that are doing that are the ones getting ready to get bought out by private equity, or have been in those discussions. Multi-site, multi-million, they have real marketing people behind them, but it's few and far between. I mean, it's The Joint, it's Chiro One. Chiro One, I have a very close connection with now because my mentor and coach is Stu Bernson, who created that. It's the largest privately owned multi-site clinics. You can have the conversation with their chief of marketing about every KPI and metric, and the other and they know him, and they have North Stars, and they have a strategic plan set up for 18 months to 24 months to solve and fix those. They're scientists, like what real marketing is. And here's really a real fucking interesting thing. Chiropractors go off of feel. They don't go off of science and baseline of actual scientific marketing data. The acquisition cost for like a Chiro One on Google, on digital and digital ads, Facebook and Google, is in the range of $500 to $700. And they're happy with that because they understand the science and value of where that goes into then the lifetime value. Most chiropractors couldn't answer for you what their actual lifetime value is, what their cost per acquisition is, what their real cost per lead is. Because they're unfortunately, they can't be a fucking data scientist and the best adjuster and the best clinician and the best analysis and the best business owner and the best leader. There's no fucking possible way. Marketing said to sales, "Where's my leads?" Sales says to marketing, "Where's my leads?" Marketing says, "Where's my closes?" CFO goes, "Both of you shut the fuck up and stop spending my money." And CEO goes like, and that's most chiropractors privately owned are all of those personalities. It's insane. So marketing wise, most are not doing marketing. They think they're doing marketing through content. Now, is there elements they are grazing into marketing, and they are doing content, and they're doing advertising, and they're maybe doing a little bit of public relations and some other growth engines. But at the end of the day, they're not actually tying it back to science and data for the most part. I can tell you that. So are they doing promotion and advertising? Yes. What are they doing right and wrong? They're not really doing anything wrong because the profession doesn't have a standard. We have no political entities that are saying this is what an annual exam is, or this is what, standard of care is. So there's no guidelines. And that again makes what chiropractic one of the most amazing things. They're making the rules up. Everyone else did, but other people outside the profession got involved and legitimized and cultural authorityized and all that shit, the good and the bad. So I don't think they're doing anything wrong with promotion, content, and advertising. I just think there's professionals and there's ones that are just doing it smarter, better. They're ahead of trends. They're more apt on that. But if they're advertising and promoting and doing content in any shape or form, at least they're getting their name out. Now, the question of the relevancy and the argument of what they're doing, that can always be debated at the time. But at the end of the day, promotion is promotion, PR is PR. If they're reaching more people in the audience and that's what their goal is, to get their name and their brand out, then they're doing it. Can they be doing it smarter, better? Yes, absolutely.
So with that, solution to all those things is chiropracticresults.com.
No, dude, I love it. That is an answer to marketing of data, of leveraging data and feeding machines with data and leveraging your outcomes and your storytelling. There's many things that you can use Chiropractic Results as an asset of for your marketing, advertising, promotion, content. I'm all big on that, but I don't think it's an ultimate answer. I don't think there is an ultimate answer. I think that what happens is, because it is science. We go back to this. I mean this at the end of the day, and I know you want to, let's jam on this, like the $29 offer. And cause I love and respect and appreciate your fight against it and polarizing against it. And I have been on cognitive dissonance sides of it for over 12, 15 years, just like adjustment videos. And I'll tell you, I'm on the side of adjustment videos now. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. I'll give you the data and science, right? I look at the data and science, but
right.
the thing is that's going to happen is just because we don't have a professional, real institutionalized McKinsey people behind us.
Okay.
Like the pharmaceutical companies are behind medicine. We don't have product size. The vendor should be actually solving this for this is the ultimate answer. I'm going to give an ultimate answer. It only comes down to the vendors. What we think is this, the shit of the profession is actually the answer for everything. They should be putting the money in science and research and helping chiropractors. I think I do my job in that to a degree, helping them advertise, market, and promote better. The thing is that most chiropractors are going to be like dudes at a fucking, a line before someone breaks out blow and sees, did someone have a heart attack? Oh, it's cool. It's safe. Let me do it, because that is a scientific response. This works. The reason why people keep doing the $29 offer ads, and I don't think they should be doing, I mean, again, if you're in a market, like differentiate yourself, like pricing is marketing, marketing is pricing. Like there's many different ways to skin the cat to get people in the door besides a discount bundled offer. That being the one fucking thing that people have laid their head on, because an agency scientifically, agency after agency after agency scientifically scaled it out, and the results were, the data and the outcomes was, well, 30% of the time it works 50% of the time. and so docs were like, well, I mean, at least, so then when Crazy Twisty comes around and goes, hey, we should do enrollment ads like universities and application ads like universities, using other places, not just going like, hey, this is this crazy fucking idea. They still don't want to approach it because, well, it's never been really, the guys that work with me are the cool motherfuckers that test shit out. And they're also why they're fucking some of the richest, most important chiropractors, because they're not afraid to test shit and go, hey, let's try that application funnel out. Hey, let's try that risk reversal offer out. Hey, let's do loss leader freemium. Hey, let's do, in fact, one of my favorite strategies is to run ads that says we're not accepting new patients and take it away, and actually have on the website, you can't get, like, when people can't get into something, you know what happens in e-commerce? Now I want to get in there. So I think that they're just pussies for not trying and testing out different stuff and getting so pigeonholed. But they have to be so pigeonholed and focused laser, because that's how they get their day. I mean, it's no fault of their own. They need to stop relying on themselves, and they need to be open to evolution of things. That's why I keep saying chiropractic is everything. Being pigeonholed to, well, this is the way chiropractic was, is the same thing as saying, well, this is what we did to the 2010s to the 25s. We ran $29 discount offer ads. I got guys that I run $29 discount offer ads in their market. It works. And we bring it back out and in and out, but we also bring in application funnels. We bring in risk reversal funnels. We do workshops. We don't just do conversion lead. We do lead magnets and resource guides. We build the list. We run a shitload of awareness ads to counteract, the one problem. And I think this is what pisses you off, and you're absolutely right. If you're just a doc who's running a $29 offer ad, and that's all you run for marketing, content, promotion, advertising, whatever we want to call it, that's the only thing people know about your brand. You fucked. I know guys who at one point, when that's all they did, when they got to the point where they exhausted that because they trusted the agency, and the agency fucking didn't tell them, hey, we should readjust this and do other things because your brand message is just this. That's all people know you as. There is, and you know this from Myron Golden, dude. There's cheapo people, freepo people, feeple people, whatever. There's 4 types of people. There's different archetypes, and you have to identify who you want to draw in. But that doesn't mean also, like, dude, I know rich motherfuckers who love free shit. I know rich motherfuckers who like a good deal. But what they need to do is just stop fucking being pussies and hire smart motherfuckers who do different things like what you're doing. and doing micro content, short content, and doing it right, and doing it with effectiveness and efficiency without having to fucking, create a whole podcast and because that's a lot. And then how to create content that polarizes and gets engagement. That is, just as important or more important than your conversion ad marketing nowadays, because that's where the data shows us where people are finding, again, what is the most important thing when it comes to picking a provider? Word of mouth. And unfortunately, conversion ads don't carry a lot of weight with word of mouth. They're offers. Content marketing, like you're doing, amplifies like chiropractic, like those things go together and go, well, dude, I should be hiring Robert to fucking do my content marketing because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's what they need to do, to start trusting smart motherfuckers.
Yeah. Before you said hire me, I was going to say thank you for fucking saying that, because like I get a lot of pushback when I'm like, fuck those $29 special ads. I don't think you should.
You want that. That's what you're trying to get to. You need pushback.
Yeah, no, for sure. I do. I do. But it's like, to get it through their skulls, like if I want a fucking filet mignon, I don't fucking go to Burger King.
Yeah.
And if you're going to attract fucking cheap, bargain chasers, are you going to convert them when they're in the office? Yes or no? Maybe.
So
are they
the data, that's is where science comes in. And I think the thing that people have to understand, and I'm going to echo this again, because I tried to jump on this train before Chiropractic Results, and I don't have that skill set. And that's why I'm grateful that there's people like you that can do this and help people. The reality is, from a data scientific standpoint, your Google ads will convert 30% better if you are doing consistent, engaging content on social. There is a 25% increase in brand visibility if you're doing consistent, short, like the content that you're helping people do. The problem is awareness marketing is the hardest one to quantify, but now we're actually starting to get data that actually tells us like we can put attributes on top of attribution now. And so you're trying to convince them that they need to be doing this instead of, and my argument would be, you need to be doing it to compound it and to answer. Like if you're going to keep doing it, and the reason you're getting pushback and trying to get through the skulls is, again, it goes back to my science thing. It's the least path of resistance, and it worked. And as a non-innovative entrepreneur or business owner who doesn't want to disrupt stuff, they just want to get into a business that is as much as close to a franchise as possible without being a franchise. That's what chiropractors do. They basically have franchised themselves. And this is where you're right. I'll make the argument and say, look, I have guys that have $10,000 care plans and, $100,000 lifetime value, staunch reputations, and they run $29 offers at times, or $49 offers, because at times during consumer sprints, consumers are trained for deals and discounts, and that's an archetype that you want to get in. Is the science and data tell us that they're the best chiropractic patient? No, the best chiropractic patient by data and research is the one who's done word of mouth referrals. That's always still going to be the highest ratio of when you compare data to long staying. Do they stick? Absolutely. But they're probably about 30% right now. The data's trending less than, but still it's an op. You want as many opportunities, and Dan Bay would tell you this with Close for Chiro. You want as many opportunities to sell the value that you have. I have one fucking offer that I give people for working with me. It's the same goddamn thing. It's a power hour. Sometimes I've done free ones. Sometimes I've done 50% off. Sometimes I've raised the price 3x. Sometimes I've said I don't have any available and people go, can I, that's what marketing is, data testing and seeing, okay, what's working and what's not. Now, the ones that should be listening to you is the ones who are actually looking at their data, but they're not the ones listening to you because they're not looking at your data. So you have to be the motherfucker that points the data at them and says, okay, what would your cost per lead and cost per acquisition be if your relevancy score had increased 30% and I could help you with that? So you could either get off the dope or you can stay on the dope, but you're going to live longer because of Robert. Yeah. So that's my take, dude. And that's why, but you also are doing the right thing by getting, this is Roger Stone 101. You're attacking. And your job is to get them from left to right, but not to get them to left or right, to get them from left to undecided. You're going to have your early low hanging adopters that's your, at the time for what you're doing. I think you're doing the right marketing message, but it will and it should evolve because you're going to start meeting other people and different ecosystems and different modalities. And so where you're at with what you're at is great. I think you're not wrong with a lot of the things. I'm not saying that, but I think there's a lot of data behind it. And, you know, at the end of the day, marketing is testing. And I don't think we're going anywhere with short form content for the foreseeable future. So you're in a very great space as long as you can keep up with the trends, which you're doing. And as long as, you're collaborating with docs that listen, follow you, or at least let you, do your thing and come in. And I know that's probably the easiest thing for you to just do is just come in and just get it done for them. Right.
Yeah. When they just shut up and listen to me is my favorite.
Yeah, that's the best fucking thing. Those are very, and ironically, that's what chiropractors want for their patients. So it's a mirror moment for them. So as soon as they start, and that's the messaging you need, I think that you need to keep echoing to them is that you're part of a signal and you want to increase those signals just like they want to increase those signals. I had that same conversation with Andrew for Phoenix, who's doing he runs $29 offer ads for clients. And my argument for him that they need to be doing those. If you're not doing anything, at least do that because you have momentum and growth loops going on. They should be counterbalanced with great PR, foundational SEO, smart content, shorts, reels. Like if you do all that, that's what I see as the docs that are doing all the growth engines, as I like to call them. There's 3 growth engines, ironically. If they're doing all of them, even half-assing all of them, they're fucking crushing it. So you're a big part of that growth engine, dude.
Well, thank you. And thank you. I'm not against running ads. I'm against watering down the message. And
yeah, absolutely. You should be thinking you're right about that. Yeah. And watering down the message, you can it's not just watering down, it's exhausting and it being the only message for people. If that's we have data on this. It takes practices that have run those ads for anywhere from 18 months to 2 years. They will typically see a 50% growth in the first year. And then if that's the only thing they do, they'll see a 50%. So they're just going to go right back down because they didn't do anything else, and that's the silly thing. But that's I just want my cookie cutter. What are you doing over there? What are you doing over there? And is it kind of working? So, one of the biggest things is going to be for anyone in the content game, this is really interesting news because the market for content and influencers is the acquisition. This is the largest change. 2026 is predicted to be the highest acquisitions of content agencies and stuff like that for a reason, because they're getting results. So you're still kind of like ahead of the Gary Vee, all those guys were like the forefathers. They were the ones dropping acid and doing all the drugs that were like, now everyone's like, oh, this is cool. Like you're at the stage of marijuana when it's like in the 90s where like, hey buddy, like stay off that reefer, like that's content marketing and still so fresh and new, and the style and the evolution. But in another window and speed of time is happening faster than ever. You're going to be right at the right place and ahead of everyone in a lot of places. Cause I don't know anyone who's really, there's a couple outliers that, run content and doing dance video stuff and somewhat education stuff. So I think you've set yourself apart, and that's the most important thing for who do I work with is kind of a mirror image of what I think that you should be. And I think that people will wake up to that more. You just got to keep pounding it, man. That's it.
Well, thank you. If you think I'm on the right path, then I think I'm doing something right. So I appreciate that.
Is the voice telling you we're on the right path? That's the most important thing.
Yeah, the voice does.
Good.
It definitely does. Like, chiropractic care literally changed my life. I had pain in my shoulder for 14 years, and why I didn't go was because I thought I was going to die. And I see, that narrative that go have surgery, go take a pill, potion, lotion, whatever is the only option. And if I can be a part of changing that narrative to change lives like chiropractic did for me, that's what I want to do.
Well, you can
And
change lives with $29. This is what I think. And I didn't mean to turn your podcast into, but this is real and raw, and I hope people enjoy it. Like, this is a real conversation. I truly believe right now where you're at, unless you had this is a pimp out for me to be like, if you were a Spiz partner and I could tell put influence on top of influence and push your to different things and pedestals and stuff like that, where having someone else be a speaking piece for you and tell your story could help accelerate your authority to then what you're doing is polarization and attack. You're doing Rogers, which I love and fucking appreciate because that's one of my coaches, right? That was one of my guys. And I believe in that. You're going to get somewhere with that. Trust, I already know you are, but you're also going to, you're also making, I would make the argument from a data, and this comes from data marketing, that you got to play a little bit of, just like we're telling Kyra, they need to play all sides. They need to play the freepo people. They need to play the cheapo people. They need to play the prepo people. They need to play everyone to get them opportunities to then identify who their best fit for their practices and sell them. You have an opportunity right now with data, with real data, to sell and tell the ones that are also like, this is politics 101. I'm going to tell you both things. You're being done running $29 off. I believe in that and you can stand by that, because that's an important thing that you have. And you have a opinion and theory, and it's validated by your data and your observations. But you can also say, hey, if you're going to do it, don't you want to get better results with it? What would 30% increase in your, if we could reduce 30% of your ROAS, which let's just say that's probably at least $6,000 a year. Most likely it's $12,000 a year just in ROAS. We can increase 30% of your or lower 30% of your ROAS in the lead acquisition. If you can increase the amount of leads, because this is data that I have on running Google ads or any digital ads. If you run awareness content versus you don't, it's a 29% difference in conversions. So either way, like, Bobby Robert Delude, the podcast dude, what's the brand called right now, dude?
It's called the podcast, dude. I'm changing it. That is, I didn't even think about it like that. It's just like right now we're in the, like, every Meta and TikTok is in the TikTokification with interest content. Followers fucking don't matter anymore. So if you make content that's interesting to your followers,
you have a fucking huge shot to do big things.
Yes. You fucking, if your chiropractor likes to go hunting, well, then fucking talk about that.
Yeah.
And then this guy got an elk. Well, I'm going to go look at his page. Oh, he's a fucking chiropractor. He's my next door neighbor. Not literally, but how social media marketing has changed is the interest graph. And then everything is tied to fucking Google. So especially YouTube. So if people Google fucking anything, your short form content's going to come up there. Google even has a spot for shorts right now.
Dude, it's so, it's like I said, it's the pot at the early, like 3 stages. And I got more data on this because I actually did back in the summer a shitload when I was launching Chatty Cathy. Here's the outcomes. Again, outcomes and results. So it's like, if you do stuff that like what Robert's helping practices do, you're going to get a 12x reach and recall. If you can increase your reach and recall, which reach is really important, but recall fucking really is what matters. In the beginning of the year, I did a mastermind in Indianapolis called the Royal Rumble Mastermind. And it was all based on how to personal and professionally increase your brand, like professional wrestlers, and elevate your gimmick and a lot of this was getting out there and doing what you're talking about. Talk about the shit you love. Talk about the shit you hate. Talk about you. Audience growth. Here's the average audience growth is about monthly is about 75 to 200 subscriptions monthly organically, which then in the 90 days compound, if you're doing this consistently, as you know, $300 to $1,000 increase. Now we just said followers don't matter, but there's still social proof. But the biggest thing was the 25 to 40% improvement in ad boosting improvement. More leads, lower costs, easier to close it. So the end game is if you want to do great fucking content and do it right and do it efficiently and do stuff like the podcast is doing, here's you're going to get a 20 to 50% increase in referrals, a 15 to 30% increase in improvement in retention, a 30 to 100% growth in LTV. I mean, I'll fucking take all those growth metrics overnight. They're still not going to believe it until they see it. And this has been the problem with awareness marketing forever, and it will continue on, but the right people will win. But you are dramatically, if you're doing this stuff, impacting those all elements from, awareness leads to list build leads to conversions leads to referrals leads to retention. You are the foundation of the house. And that's the thing that people, so if they want to have crack in their house, this is if they want to have crack in their house and they don't want to get arrested by the police, you have to have a good fucking foundation, right? If you want to have the most beautiful things in the house and you want to, you have to have a strong foundation. So what I would say is that, the podcast dude is building the foundation for every marketing channel to explode. If your foundation sucks, what else sucks?
Yeah.
That's me. That's how I think, dude. That's what you're doing. And it's the truth,
And they can take those results after and put them on chiropractic.
After they go, results. And then they grow their patients and they fucking put more results and and then they can go and talk about in their content about their results and they can keep going. It's just a circle of fucking life.
Love it. All right. So obviously, you're passionate about chiropractic. If you just died not today, that seems a little dramatic, but when you die and everything has gone off the internet, the only thing they have to remember is your name. What do you want the chiropractic world, or just the world in general, to remember about Twisty?
It's just all about spiz, love and spiz, love, service, and spiz.
Love it. All right. So where can people find you on the interwebs?
They can go to spiz.com to get on the newsletter. That's it. They can follow me on Facebook if they want. It's the funniest thing in our industry. It's still the biggest thing, Still where 40% of my new people come from, Biggest thing I'd say is go to chiropracticresults.com, claim your profile, because just like Yelp, it's going to be there regardless. Leverage and use your profile, start putting results on there and get more new patients because you're being found more in AI recommendations and your SEO is increasing and your word of mouth reputation's increasing on your conversions. And that's it.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by today, Twisty.
Awesome, dude.